So if you've been cruising Instagram or YouTube, you might have seen the towel drill taking over. And what we're going to look at in this video is the towel good for you? And what does the towel drill actually help us learn about the human anatomy? So make sure you stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this. So I can't take credit for the towel drill, even though I wish I could, because I think it's a great drill for most golfers. But I do need to give credit where it is due, and that credit is due to John Eisman, who's the first person I saw really kind of promoting this idea of using a simple towel to really generate a lot of good things for a lot of golfers in their golf swing. So from a conceptual standpoint, what I really like about the towel drill is when I stand on a towel, what I do is I stretch it out between my feet as far as I can get it, and then hold that tension between my feet and really feel like I'm keeping this towel stretched out. Now what that does for me is it creates an opposite and equal force in both directions and helps stabilize my center of mass. So as I've went on record as saying before, I believe that horizontal force, or our push towards and away from the target, is not meant to be used for power, rather for stability. So by getting golfers to actively pull this towel between their feet and create more horizontal force, what we're going to see is way better stability within their center of mass, which is going to make it way easier for them to control low point during their golf swing. So I've seen a couple different iterations of this, and one thing that I like to do with the towel when doing the towel drill is I really like kind of folding it a couple times and making it skinnier. And the reason I like using a skinny part of the towel instead of the entire towel is that now we can actually direct our pressure application with our feet. And what I mean by that is we want to be standing more on the balls of our feet at setup when we're addressing the golf ball. So if we think about folding the towel a little bit, as we see here, I've got the balls of my feet kind of positioned right on the towel, and then I'm kind of managing my balance on the balls of those feet while I'm pulling that towel apart. Now, that is a constant pull. We don't want to simply pull it apart and then relax. We want to keep it pulled apart. And generally what we're going to feel is we're going to feel like our ankle joints and our knee joints kind of almost feel like they're doing the opposite. So my ankles feel very much like they're trying to stay a little internal here, and then my knees very much feel like they're trying to twist outward. Now we can see that that's clearly not looking that way from the camera perspective. However, that is definitely a feeling that we're going to get where we're screwing the legs into the ground, and that's going to do a really nice job of feeling the glutes activate, the IT bands, the internal hip flexors, everything that kind of makes up our pelvis is really going to be engaged here, and it's going to be much easier to create motion within the upper body without disturbing the center of mass. So now I've created a nice stable platform on which I can rotate my thoracic about. So if you've seen any of our videos in the past talking about ground reaction forces and using the golf club in transition of the golf swing, one of the biggest reasons we see that people struggle so much in transition is that they tend to really kind of have everything going down, meaning that their body is moving towards the ground as they transition the golf club. And the really nice thing with the towel drill is that it forces us to be much more active with our lower body and create way better stability. So like we mentioned before, low point control really gets a lot easier with the towel drill. The other thing that I really love about the towel drill is that it forces people into creating more mobility within their upper body, because if I do the towel drill, okay, so let me get this, a little slack in the middle goes a long way. Okay, so we're gonna get some slack in there. We're gonna go ahead and work this apart. There we go, I got my tension. Okay, I got my pelvis tucked. So what we wanna see here is when we get to the top, okay, you're gonna kind of feel much more restricted in how much you can actually rotate. So now we're actually going to have to use the shoulder girdle to rotate more about the spine to create the depth we need, which is the correct way from an anatomical standpoint to load the body. So like you can see, a ton of good things come from a very simple towel drill. So once again, I want to shout out John for doing an incredible job with this. John, keep up the great work. Thanks for helping golfers get better and play better. And for you, the person watching this video, you'd be surprised at what adding a simple little towel to your practice, or even simply doing at home on a firm surface that's a little slick, it does a wonder of good for you, because we're now activating the nervous system and getting these muscles that we need to use to control the center of mass engaged. So even though there's a lot of fancy stuff we talked about, the application is very, very simple with the towel. So good on John for finding a way to take something very complicated and making it simple for the person to use. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any interest in working with myself, you can find that option available by looking for Michael Dutro on the Skillest app, and make sure you subscribe to this video so you never miss one of our new drops. So thanks so much, and until next time, keep grinding.